insane. He's criminally insane. And Dana White is no good for the UFC. These guys have too much money. They've lost touch with reality. They're into Satanism. You see Dana White pulling that invisible string. That invisible string that, you know, gave Conor McGregor's demons the cues. When to turn on and to turn off. Dana White with his string. That's Kabbalah bullshit. They call it the red string. Anyway, it's witchcraft. It's witchcraft. The shit Conor McGregor, a lot of the shit he says in this press conference is witchcraft. It's demons speaking through Conor. You can see different demons enter and exit his body. Different personalities emerge. And this is not an act. People think, oh, it's an act. Conor's brilliant. Conor McGregor's not a brilliant person. He's demon possessed. He's demon possessed. And Ireland will not allow Conor McGregor to air commercials. They said that he's a bad influence on the youth of Ireland. Ireland has turned their back on Conor McGregor. And he sits there and says Khabib, his own countrymen, turned their back on him. On Khabib. That's bullshit. See, that's the devil talking. Trying to spin that shit back on Khabib. The fact of the matter is, Conor McGregor's own country has turned their back on him. His own country has turned the back of Conor McGregor threw the Irish flag on the ground at the Floyd Mayweather event. Conor McGregor cares about no one but Conor McGregor. Dana White cares about no one but himself and Conor McGregor. Look what Dana White, look how he's looking right now. What's he looking at? Dana White allowed Conor McGregor to injure other UFC fighters, and Dana White didn't do shit about it. He thought it was the greatest thing that ever happened. Cheezer with blood on his face. Ray Borg with glass in his eyes while his baby's in intensive care. That the very day that Khabib Nurmagomedov fought Al LaQuinta, his wife was having a baby. That very day. That very day. This is a sport. Khabib is committed to this sport. He's a true champion. Conor McGregor is not a champion. He was stripped at 145 pounds because he was a coward, would not defend the title, not one time. He fought Nate Diaz, a ranked 7th, got his ass choked out. Got his ass choked out. Fought Nate Diaz, demanded a rematch. Dana White gives the peckerhead a rematch, coming off a loss. Okay? Coming off a loss. A majority decision. A thin, gimme majority decision. Conor McGregor gets the title shot. You know? It's garbage. It's garbage. He got all into Eddie Alvarez's head because Eddie Alvarez, he tried to be like Conor McGregor. He tried to one-up Conor McGregor. He tried to out-talk Conor McGregor. He tried to dress like Conor McGregor. He tried to, he played Conor McGregor's game. Khabib's not playing Conor McGregor's game. Khabib realizes that MMA is a sport. It's a sport. And he realizes that the shit Conor McGregor's doing is a crime. They're crimes. And Khabib knows that the police are standing right there, watching what Conor McGregor does. And every time Conor McGregor calls him, says he's a dead man, it said, told Khabib, said if you'd have stepped off that bus that day, you'd be in a box. Listen, the police standing right there, and Khabib just smiled. Because he knows if Conor McGregor had reared a bottle, had reared back, like he was going to hit him with a bottle of whiskey, they'd put him in jail. He'd face the fullest extent, be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. He'd be going to prison for 15 years if he reared that bottle back. That's why they let him bring it in there. That's why the the NYPD allowed Conor McGregor to bring those bottles in there. They knew he had them. He didn't sneak shit in. They knew damn well he had those bottles of whiskey. They knew Conor McGregor was hopped up and drunk, and they knew he was psyched out of his mind. They've been following him. This is the day Conor McGregor landed, and the airport TSA has had, you know, detectives telling Conor McGregor every move he makes. Conor McGregor's motel room is wired. Got cameras and microphones everywhere. They know when Conor McGregor farts. They know everything about Conor McGregor. They've dug all into his cell phone, know all his. They know everything about Conor McGregor. If Conor McGregor sneezes, they write it down because they're going to get Conor McGregor. He's on conditional discharge. Conor McGregor has not met the conditions. You know, Conor McGregor, last year or whatever, he got a speed ticket in Ireland, right? He didn't show up for court. He just didn't take it serious. He said, I do what I want. I answer to no one. And the judge had to threaten him to make him come to court. And when he did come to court, he was still, you know, come and get me, smarting off at the mob and all this shit. Conor McGregor has dug his hole. He's dug his own hole. He's dug his own hole. This is the end of Conor McGregor. This is unbelievable shit. People are just stunned. They say it's brilliant. It's not brilliant. It's disgusting. It's despicable. This is despicable. Conor McGregor is disgusting. He's despicable. And it's a sorry excuse for a human being. Conor McGregor, his behavior is the main reason why God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Conor McGregor is the reason that God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. People like Conor McGregor, he's a sodomite. That's exactly what he is. Khabib kept saying, ask your friend while I give him slap. That's why he give him slap. Because he's one too. SBG is one of those freaky social gems